I could really see everything that I need to be able to see. All right, so let's get started. My name is Elena S. Blair. If you are new here this week, well, this is my third time, and I'm going to introduce myself every single time. If you've heard me introduce myself, I'm so sorry that you have to hear it again, but I am a lifestyle, family, and newborn photographer based out of Seattle, Washington. I've been in business for 13 years. My business is now a teenager, which is pretty crazy. And I'm still very much a working photographer. I photograph 100-ish families a year. So I'm in it with you all. And today we are going to talk about WPPI, particularly this year, 2023. We are going to give you all of the exciting new things that you have to look forward to, all of the things that I want to make sure you don't miss, which let me just tell you, it's the parties, not going to lie. And we have some incredible speakers that will be guests today on our live. We've got Michele Celentano. And if you don't know Michele, I like fangirl over her every time I see her. She's probably sort of sick of me stalking her at the bar at WPPI, but she's just a legend in our industry. You're so lucky to get to hear her today. We have Gary Hughes and Kristina Sherk, which are new to me, and I'm so excited to get to know them better. I'm going to introduce them a lot more in depth in a bit. So make sure you stay until the end, but you also want to stay until the end because we have some super big prizes, and you have to stay till the end, and you have to be here live to get them. So do not leave. You've got this. You can stay on alive for like an hour, and I would advise you to close down the other apps that you have open and really focus your time. Time is your most valuable currency. So hang out with us today. Give us your undivided attention. We're going to give you some awesome giveaways. So if you've ever been to WPPI, and chances are, if you're here, you know how great the event is. For any of us that go, you'll find that people who go to WPPI have this, they get all warm and fuzzy, and they start talking about how much they love it and how much they love their WPPI family. It's just a thing that you have to experience on your own to understand, but it is true. And I really believe that WPPI is the nexus of photography industry events. It really is where you get to go and see the best speakers in our industry. You have over 90 industry icons and some of the biggest names in the business to learn from at a price that is really a steal. And we're going to give you even a bigger steal today. So just more on that in a second. You get to meet these people in real life, ask them questions, pick their brain. There's a huge showroom floor, expo floor, and you get to walk around and see all of your favorite vendors, anyone that you use, your labs, your albums, your editors. My editors are usually there, your proofing site. Everyone is there. And not to mention the big camera companies, also more on that. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself because I'm a little excited, obviously. But I would say that it is the biggest and I think most important event in our industry. And I really am looking forward to seeing more of you join us today. So what is my favorite part about WPPI, and I think a lot of people will say that will agree with me, is that you get to connect in real life, finally, with these people who you have known online or you have known of online. And we photographers, we kind of operate like alone, right? We're sitting on an island trying to figure things out, trying to make this work with, even if we have employees, our employees often aren't in our home or in our studio. And this is your time to get in the same place with all of your peers and be inspired and make those connections that I promise are going to last a lifetime. So that was in a nutshell. My nutshell is getting bigger because I'm getting more and more excited about WPPI. But before I go any further, and I do have notes, so if my eye strays, it's because I'm trying to stay on track, or I'll just talk about my love for WPPI for an hour. We are doing a flash sale. And it's so popular. People are getting so excited with our flash sale that we don't have an end date yet. So you really need to strike while the iron is hot, though, because you don't know when we're going to pull this away. But you can get a ticket, a full conference pass for WPPI for $99. Now, I will tell you, imagine if you went to one talk and spent 1 hour and learned how to double your price. And you went, say you're not charging enough and you're charging $300 per session and you double your price, you already paid for that $99. You are going to get your money back tenfold. I can guarantee it. $99 is basically free. So this is an insane deal. You really should take advantage of this. If you already got a ticket, don't panic. People have been panicking a little bit about this. we will refund you the difference. You have to just send an email to info@WPPI events and we will get you refunded. This is the biggest sale, the steepest price that you're ever going to see. I can't believe it. Actually, I keep asking them, like, when are we going to end this sale? This seems a little crazy. It is a very generous sale. And I really, really, really want you to take advantage of this. You use the code FLASH99, no strings attached. Just go to the registration page, sign up for $99, but do act fast because we will not leave the sale up forever. I know that's for sure. The other thing that I want to let you know is that the event is at the Mirage in Las Vegas, Nevada, and you should stay there. I am just going to tell you that you are going to be wrecked. You are spending tons of time and energy. You want to be able to go back to your room quick and take a little break, a little nap, get a little bit of, alone time because it's a little bit overwhelming and I'm an extroverted person and I still feel like that, but then you get to get right back into the action immediately. You want to stay where the conference is because you want to be able to have that quick access to all of the things that are happening seriously from like 8 a.m. until the wee hours of the night or the morning, I guess would be the right way to say it. So you should definitely stay at the Mirage. You get a special discounted rate. And if you go to our website, WPPI.com, you will be able to figure out where to stay. There's a button there and you can go through there and get your discounted rate. So just a little tidbit, definitely stay at the Mirage. I'll be staying there. All my friends will be staying there. It's going to be a constant party. It's going to be the best education you've had in years. You're going to love it. Stay at the Mirage. All right. So if you were with us last week, you know that we're going to be giving away prizes throughout the broadcast. And I'm going to tell you that if I say your name wrong, I'm so sorry. I'm trying really hard to get your names correct. But we are giving away several $100 gift cards to the TPM store. And if you don't know what the Portrait Master store is like, it is a large, very big catalog of education. So that $100 is going to go a really long way. And you're going to be able to really, you want this giveaway is what I'm telling you. So we're going to be giving away $100 gift cards to the TPM store. And here's the kicker, several free conference passes, but you need to be watching and commenting to win these giveaways. So what we want you to do is go to the YouTube channel comment section. And we want you to tell us in the comments what you're excited about for WPPI this year. And I just gave you like a million things to be excited about. I got more, but you tell me what you're excited about and then include the hashtag WPPI 2023. We're going to be giving away prizes to those who comment throughout the broadcast, but you got to stay here. Okay. We will tell you how to redeem your broadcast or how to redeem your, your prize. If you win the TPM gift certificate, you will email support@theportraitmasters.com to redeem it. And if you win a free conference pass, you will email info@WPPI events to redeem that. So stay till the end because we also have a huge giveaway for you at the end, but you got to stay. All right. Finally, I have another announcement, and this one is a personal one. I'm super excited about it. I am hosting the WPPI podcast, and we finally launched it today. This has been a labor of love. When they asked me to do it, it was a no-brainer for me because I love this brand. I love this conference. I love this family. I would say that we have a family. It's the WPPI family. And I was like, yes, I will step up and support that. I'm so excited about it. But what's most exciting, super self-serving, is that I get to interview some of our industry's biggest names, some of the most influential, legendary photographers. And when I have had the interviews that I've had so far, I'm just sort of like, pinch me. I can't believe this is actually happening. So we launched today with Roberto Valenzuela. And if you don't know who that is, well, go listen to the episode. He's going to blow your mind. We're going to speak to the behind the scenes of WPPIs, or you're going to hear me speaking to them, Aaron and George, and that's going to drop tomorrow. What I want you to know is that this isn't just an advertisement for WPPI. It's not. It's real in-depth conversations so that you get a little peek into who these people are, what their story is. It's so interesting to go behind the scenes from somebody that is super successful and you think, oh, I'm never going to get there. And you realize they have this humble, amazing story, but also they're giving super valuable educational tips, really actionable tips that you can stop, turn that episode off and go implement right away. And the next week, you're going to hear my conversation with Kat Ford Coates. I I'm a total fangirl for her now. Our conversation was organic and amazing. So I'm really excited for you to tune in. I want you to make sure that you go over to wherever you like to listen to your podcast, whether it be on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and make sure you subscribe. That really helps us out. And after you listen, give us a nice review. Give us a 5-star review. That'll help to get this to more ears, because I know it's going to be really, really important. All right, enough about that. Let's talk about what's new at WPPI this year. I'm going to run through some of the highlights really quick, and then we can get to why a lot of you are here, which is our big guest from today. So let's talk about it. If you've been to the show, you're going to notice a couple of things that are a little different. Of course, there's going to be the things that are the same. Like I said, the legendary speakers, the biggest expo floor that I've ever seen in my life. But we've added a lot more energy, a lot more excitement, a lot more fun, and a lot more of my favorite thing, which is community. I live and breathe community over competition, and WPPI embodies that. So we have added this. Well, one thing I want to say, there's going to be a DJ on the floor. And if you've never been to a conference where there's a DJ on the floor, you're in for a treat. No awkward silences, no like weird down, like, I don't know, does this person like me? I mean, people are like dancing and talking, and the vibe is so high. You're going to really love that. But one of the most exciting pieces or things that they added this year is the shooting bays. If you don't know what a shooting bay is, I definitely learned about this at the Portrait Master Conference back in September. Your mind is about to be blown. There are going to be, exactly as it sounds, they're little basically setups, and different photographers will be leading the shooting bays, and you can go and stand right over their shoulder, stand next to them and learn from them, but also update your portfolio in real time. So there will be models there, a lighting setup there, a background there, and then you can get your camera out, and we will help you to get portfolio worthy photos that you can use on your website, social media, wherever you need to be updating things. And I, for one, will be at the Canon shooting bay at one point, photographing a family. So you'll get to see me working with a family, posing them. And I know there's many, many others. So you're going to really, really want this. Now, here's something I'm going to tell you really quick. If you get, and I'm jumping ahead, but this just seems like a relevant time to talk about this. If you get a show pass, it's free. You literally can go walk the show floor for free and use these shooting bays. I actually just found that out today, and I was a little shocked about how generous that is. So you're going to be really excited about this. And then, of course, like I said, the speakers are, they will change your life. And I'm a speaker. I don't necessarily think I'm going to change anyone's life. I would like to, but I do know that WPPI was the first conference I ever attended. And I sat in one of those rooms. I saw Miss Sue Bryce up on stage, and I remember thinking, whoa, I didn't know this was a thing. I didn't know that there was this power and presence in our industry, but I also didn't know that there was this generosity of information. Your mind is going to be blown. That's all I have to say. I know I keep saying that, but the speakers, so inspiring. Of course, there's the networking. There's nothing more valuable than meeting your vendors. So if you use a particular lab, chances are that lab's going to be there. You get to go meet an actual human who is working with that lab. And when something goes wrong, sometimes things go wrong. It's really nice to be like, oh yeah, I can actually send an email, not just to customer support, but to that person and get it fixed. It's really pretty incredible. Of course, all of the friends that you're going to meet and the industry partners that you're going to meet on, that'll be an invaluable part of WPPI for you. Networking is, I think, one of my favorite, if not my favorite part of WPPI. Finally, there are going to be prizes on the show floor. So you get that free pass that we were just talking about, and you can win a ton of incredible prizes every hour on the hour at the WPPI lounge. I mean, I don't know, who doesn't like to win prizes for free? Finally, I think that this is something that I just want to like bring it home. The parties are bananas. It's kind of like spring break for photographers, or I like to say it's like summer camp for photographers, because we're all staying together and we all stay up way too late. And sometimes we party a little too hard because we still have to get up at 8 a.m. the next day. It is worth it. It is so much fun. So Fujifilm is going to be hosting the opening night party. That is on Monday. There's going to be all kinds of different like shoots happening, I think, and a bunch of things happening behind the scenes. So it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be really fun. And it is at the Capri, which is is a club. It's going to be a private event. We're going to blow the roof off. It's going to be so much fun. I cannot bring home enough how much fun the parties are. And if you have a conference pass, you get to go to these parties. And then there will be an 80s theme party. I was born in the 80s, so I get a little excited about this. You got to wear a costume. There's going to be prizes for the costumes. It's your opportunity to really enjoy yourself with your friends, new and old. You are going to have so much fun. The parties, it's just a whole energy. It's a great way to end the day. You've just been learning and then you get to party. I promise it's worth it. Of course, the vendors. So if you've never been to a big conference like this, and I love this photo, it's a perfect picture of it. It's like a candy store for photographers. You get to walk through the show floor, touch all of the albums, see things that are new, try out cameras, get your cameras serviced. A lot of the camera companies' booths will have service stations. It's pretty cool. I think that you will be really excited about it. If you want to find out more about what vendors are going to be attending, go to our website and pull down the attend button, and then you will be able to click the exhibitors list button and see a floor plan. And I think it's getting updated pretty regularly as we get things more solidified, but definitely check it out. I know your favorite vendors are going to be there. A lot of people have been asking, and you can see a complete list there. We do have some of the big heavy hitters that you would expect. Of course, we have Canon, Nikon, Fujifilm, Graphy Studio, B&H. B&H puts, like, if you've ever been to the B&H store in New York, they make like a mini version of it here, which is pretty fun. Sigma, Tamron, White House Custom Color, which is one of the big labs in the industry, and so many more, countless. We literally couldn't put them all on one slide. And the other thing that happens on the show floor is portfolio reviews or image reviews. I was a reviewer one year. I can't this year because I'm so busy, but you actually get to bring your images in any format you like. So I had students show me on their phone, and some who had folios printed out, and you get a free one-on-one 15-minute review with a notable photographer where they can give you invaluable feedback. And I will tell you that in that 15 minutes, they may tell you something that's going to change the whole direction of your artistry. This is free. This is free. And I believe that signups just opened up today. And it looks like we got a little directory here that'll help you to figure that out. But I think signups for that opened up today. So you definitely want to take advantage of that. We also, because the photo walks were so popular, they are an extra price. They're $99. I'm leading one. I happen to have a family that I'm going to be photographing. We added new photo walks. So you log into your registration, you can purchase the seat for your photo walks there. They're selling out super fast. We have to cap the size because if you're cruising around with somebody, with a group behind you, you can't have it be 200 people. It has to be capped. So we got Seth Miranda added, Caroline Tran, Sean Lara, Douglas Spotted Eagle. And I know that Michelle has been added as well. So we're going to talk about hers when we interview her. And then, of course, I know that if you've heard of the photo mastery classes, those are where you get a really deep dive into one topic. Again, those were selling out, which is exciting. So we've added some more as well. Backed by popular demand, we added a boudoir deep dive mastery class by Sean Black. You don't want to miss these opportunities. They really are an incredible opportunity. So photo mastery classes are 4 hours long, and they're only 25 people in each class. That's why you have to pay a little bit extra. So go check it out on the website. You can see the new ones that we added. You'll be able to see how to pay for those, and you will be really happy that you did. All right. So another thing that I want to clear up this week, because we've been getting a lot of questions about this, is what is the difference between a conference pass and a showroom pass? So for the showroom pass, it's free. I didn't know that until today. I didn't really realize it. It's free. And what you get to do is use the whole show floor. You get to see all of the vendors, participate in the shooting bays. You could get a portfolio review, I'm pretty sure. You'll be able to be there to participate in the giveaways that are every hour. And I do know that some of the vendors have little talks that go on the show floor. So it really is kind of ridiculous that you get all of that for free. So if you're on the fence, just come for the show pass. It's free. You should definitely be there for that. But the conference pass, which you can get for $99, normally $275, you're going to make that money back. The value is going to be, oh my gosh, it's enormous. And the conference pass includes everything that the show pass includes, of course, but you also get to go to the classes. You actually get to see the speakers, and You get to go to the parties. You can't go to the parties if you just have a floor pass. You have to have a conference pass. These parties, I'll just say, not only are they fun, sorry, I keep going back to the parties. Clearly, I'm most excited about that, apparently. But I have made some of the biggest and most impactful connections in my career at a party. That's how I met my partners at Canon now, actually, was at a party last year. So you don't want to miss the parties. They're really pretty fun. They're cool. Everyone's there. All right. So if you don't want to spend the money though, just come onto the show floor. You won't regret it. All right. I want to tell you a little portrait system bonus. If you are a portrait system member, we are going to have a special event, a Touch of Glam party just for you, Monday, March 6th from 6 to 8 p.m. So if you're a portrait system member, you should definitely be coming to this conference, because not only are you going to get all of the amazing things that happen at the conference, but you get a little special party, which is pretty fun. All right. I feel like I just talked a mile a minute. I am sorry if I talk too fast. I have a problem with that. I am a Latina woman with 4 children, so I can get things out quick. So anyway, sorry about that if I was talking too quickly. I am going to do some of the giveaways now, which is super exciting. So we have the Portrait Masters gift card winners. Thank you so much for going in and commenting. And by the way, it's not too late. Keep going. We're going to be giving this away throughout the whole live. So we have Pat Kennedy Corlin, J.K. Buttles, Ryan P. Kelly, Team Notaro, and Edwin Carrero. You have all won a Portrait Masters gift card. $100 to use however you would like. You email support@theportraitmasters.com to redeem that. Congratulations. Now for the big one, the free conference ticket winners. This is going to change your life. I'm so excited for you. We have Martin Gallery, Maria Naverte, Brandon Perez, Greg Hansel, Valley Fucci, Alexandria Von Wald, Sheridan Carmen, and Looking Glass Studio. Congratulations. You have won a free conference pass. This is pretty incredible. Email info@WPPI events to redeem your pass. All right, let's bring on our first guest. Now, she's probably super sick of hearing me say this, but I saw Michele speak at WPPI in 2012, and I was a family photographer thinking that I needed to do all these other things in order to be successful. I thought I was going to have to try to be a corporate headshots photographer. I thought I was going to need to be a wedding photographer or a fashion photographer and all of this. And I went and saw Michele talk about family photography, and I knew I was in the right genre. And by the way, I've never strayed. I am only a family photographer. So she is just a legend in our industry, but she's a personal mentor to me. I don't think she realizes that, because I was able to see her being successful as a family photographer. So Michele is also a Canon Explorer of Light. I don't know if you realize what a big deal that is, but it is, a huge honor in our industry. There are only 40, I believe, in the all of US, and she's been one for a while. She is a public speaker and an incredible educator, but she really thrives at conventions. This is kind of her thing. And I'm going to fix the sun in a second while she gets in and talks. So I'm really excited for you to hear from her today. Michele, welcome to WPPI Live.
Hi. My gosh,
look at this sun. Of course, it's never sunny in Seattle. And of course it is today when I have
just
to do
the one
this
time.
Yeah. We're going
to
have a little bit of crazy light.
You do, but thank you for that extraordinary
here we go.
Intro. I'm a fangirl of yours too. So thank you. I mean, we do very different styles. You're so lifestyle and organic, and I'm classic, traditional photographer, but it's great to be here with you. And, last year we got to spend quite a bit of time together at the bar. So that was a whole lot of fun.
That's why you stay where the conference is, because you never know who you're going to run into. You never know. Well,
and
Michele,
you don't want to have to hop in an Uber and go from place to place, or we drive because we live in Phoenix, but we park the car for a week and we're done. We don't want to go anywhere because, the bar time and dinner time and all of that in between is so important. It's not just the the platform speakers and the show, it's like after you've been drinking, you don't want to have to haul your butt back to another hotel.
Totally. And it's so concentrated. There's so many guests and so many speakers that when you're staying there, you run into people at the bar like you and I did. So tell us a little bit about who you are. I mean, I gave a very, a very surface level introduction, but tell us a little bit about who you are. And
it's always scary when people start using the term legend, because like, that's like old legend, old, like, and the gray hair gives it away a little bit, but I'm a career photographer. I started my photography career basically in high school, taking photography classes, went on to fashion commercial photography school in New York City. I'm born and raised New York City. I live in Phoenix now. And then started as a wedding photographer. I started working for other studios, assisting, carrying bags. And eventually they started asking me to second shoot and then be a main photographer. And then I got tired of being told what to do and how many images I could take, because I don't really like being told what to do. So then I started my own business, and that was in 1993, 94. You were just a wee lad. You were just a baby.
Like 11. Yeah.
11.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I've been going to WPPI probably since either 1995 or 1996. I haven't missed a year. And I have such strong emotional ties to WPPI. I call it a relationship because it's like one of the longest standing relationships in my life. And because the organization is made up of people, those people are the relationship, right? So it groomed me as a photographer. It groomed me as a speaker. It brought me up. It's the reason WPPI is the reason I've had a 35-year career in photography. The connections, the people, the mentors over the years, it's remarkable. I mean, and in my younger days, in my 30s, when I could strut around in high heels all the time, it was like the never-ending shopping for shoes and your outfits and getting yourself ready for WPPI. And I think I used to bring an entire suitcase of shoes. Like, it was bad, but now it's like kind of, like Vans and
I wear tennis shoes,
sneakers and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's been the longest standing photographic relationship in my career. Yeah.
I love it. I love how you put it that way. And I think people have to see it to believe it, and don't understand like why are these people getting so like excited about this event? But it's because it really is about the people, and it's about these people that you get to see every year, right as rain. They're always there. And you see all of the changes that they've been through and the growth that they've had and the hard times. Everyone talks about all of it. And it's just this big love fest. It's pretty amazing.
It's interesting. I've actually met photographers in the airport on the way to WPPI. And my husband has too. It's like really bizarre. Like a couple of years ago, he heard this woman talking on the phone, like to her husband or something, saying, "I'm so excited. My mother would be so proud. It's my first conference. I finally made enough money." And my husband, being the chatter that he is, was like, "Hey, can I ask, are you going to WPPI?" And she was like, "Yes. Who are you, creepy man, talking to me?" He's like, "Well, I'm on my way. My wife is there already." And it was her first time. And because, Paul friended her, he brought her right into like the room where I was talking, and she met everyone. She got like a front seat intro into WPPI, that because she met a weird guy talking to her in the airport who was my husband.
Yeah, that is exactly the like serendipitous stuff that happens at WPPI, where you want to meet someone to make a certain connection to do something, and then you meet someone else, and then they put you in the right room with the right person, and next thing you know, you have changed the trajectory of your whole career. That's how I met
my friends at WPPI. Well, I've always said this: I could be literally dropped anywhere on a map in the world and find somebody in my industry that I know that I could call. I could be in Japan and reach out to my Japanese photographer friends that I've met through WPPI. It could be anywhere in the States. It's incredible at the network that we've created over the years. And thanks to social media, we can reach out to people way easier than we could back then. But my WPPI family has watched the evolution of my personal life from being solely a wedding photographer, going through a divorce, having my baby, going through a divorce, moving across country, meeting my husband, bringing him into the WPPI world. So now he thinks he's pretty much the mayor of WPPI. And when I get there and everyone is like, yeah, I know. And when I get there, everyone's like, oh, where's Paul? And I'm like, really? So it's pretty funny, but they've watched my daughter grow up. She's 22 now. Like every year people are like, how is Anna? How old is she now? What is she doing? Like we've watched our families grow up. We've watched each other evolve as photographers, as people. And so it isn't just a conference. It is truly a family reunion. I want to know, how are your kids doing? What's happening with them? Show me the pictures. What did you get a new puppy? Like all of that. You're going to talk to Gary soon. And I think when we first met, he maybe had 2 kids and now he has a baseball team. Okay, maybe 4 kids, but close enough. I think he's working on that baseball team. But it's pretty remarkable, truly the friendships and the family ties that are really bonded at WPPI. It sounds so corny and like it kind of sounds a little like a romantic comedy. And at the end, when you're cynical like me, you're like, that doesn't happen, right? But that stuff happens at WPPI.
It does. It is true. I'm with you. Yeah. I'm with you. And you put it so perfectly. What are you teaching this year?
Oh, yes. I just announced I'm going to be doing a photo walk. I've got to send it to in today. And so I think, because I'm usually doing groups and families, but this year I'm going to do seniors, high school seniors, because I love them. And I think we're going to do like a 1, 2, 3 light on location. So what do you do if you have 1, 2, or 3 lights? How can we light them differently? How can we pose that? Can we go from inside to outside? So just a whole high school senior session and all the different ways we can make that happen.
Awesome. I remember I stumbled upon one of your photo walks last year and you were literally grabbing everyone that walked by and posing them as a large family, how you would pose a large family. And I got in the picture. So you don't want to miss that. I made a couple of people
mad with that. No, I made a few people mad. I was like, just sit down. And they're like, no, I have a place to be. I'm like, just 2 minutes, no, just fun. Sit down. I think I have that somewhere. It's pretty funny.
I love that energy. Well, finally, the last question I want to ask you is, what are you most excited about for this year for WPPI 2023?
The hugs, seeing my family, kind of finally being out of the COVID trauma.
Yeah.
And finally feeling like, yes, we can all be together. Like the worst of it's behind us. We can finally come out from underneath our rocks, and just enjoy each other and be together and hug again and sit next to each other during presentations. I mean, all of it. It is the highlight every year of my year. And like I said, the people, and that's what WPPI is. It is the people, the heart and soul, the people who are there that want to educate and want to share what they know. And it is walking the trade show. It's one of my favorite things. I remember my early years at WPPI when I was, just an attendee, walking the aisles and seeing people that I idolized and being terrified to go and talk to them. Or like, I'd walk by somebody like Dennis Reggie back then. I was like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. And then you realize that they're there because they want to chat with you. They want to offer, advice if you have questions. Like I say to people all the time, do not be intimidated by the speakers. They are human beings. They go home and they empty their garbage and do everything that you do. We're not celebrities. We're just working photographers who have maybe a little bit more experience, and we're there to share. So don't ever feel intimidated or, not like you can't go up to a speaker. They're there because they want to help. They want to talk to you. We want to talk to you. I mean, don't become a stage 5 clinger. That's not cool. But but ask questions. We're there.
She's saying that
so yeah. I think you were attached to my ankle for an hour after I left the bar. No,
yeah, I was like, come on, tell me more. Yeah. No, it's really actually so true though. I mean, like if someone is an educator that goes to conferences, you want to talk to your students. I want to meet people that I only have maybe had one direct message with or whatever. So such good advice. Well, thank you, Michele. I can't wait to see you. It's going to be so much fun. I think it's going to be one of the best years yet. And
I agree.
We will see you in real life soon.
All right. I'm going to go shoe shopping.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. I'm going to answer a couple of your questions really fast. So let's see. Somebody asked what is still available. I'm afraid everything is going to be sold out if I sign up. No. Sign up. There are 98 speakers and those classes the rooms are ginormous, a little scary for those of us that are speakers, but you can get into all of those. So don't worry. There's plenty. And there are new photo walks and there are new of the master classes. Did I say that wrong? Those are added and those are extra. I know some people who go to the conference, actually myself included, I never do the extras. I always just do the base content. So yes, you should still go. Is there a page somewhere where we can look for people that want to find roommates for hotels? So there isn't a page, but if you join the official WPPI Facebook, I've been seeing this conversation just like going on all over, but there are specific threads or even just one thread that was started by the curators for people looking to share rooms. And my very first year, I got onto one of those threads and I stayed with somebody that I'd never met in real life. And she and I are like best friends still. So highly recommend. Is there a get together on Sunday night? Yes, there is a welcome reception on Sunday evening, which is a fantastic networking opportunity. All right, let's see. Will Canon be there? Perhaps Canon Repair Service Station. Yes, Canon will be there. And yes, there will be a repair station. And if you're a Canon Professional Services member, I believe you get priority there with that. So yes, Canon will be there. I am a Team Canon member, and I am so excited to see all of the stuff that's going to be there. So yes. All right, so let's give away some prizes again, because we're just like giving them away right and left. More $100 Portrait Master gift card winners. We have Terry Thomas, Photos for Sue, Enid Arvelo, Aaron Fonesca, and Keith White Photography. If you just heard your name called, congratulations. It's such a great giveaway. You're going to email the Portrait Masters to get that, to redeem it. We have free conference ticket winners. We have Nature's Reveal Photography, Nikki S., Brenda Spielman, Tia B., Nicole MX, and Suzette Parchment. If that was you, if you just heard your name called, email WPPI, info@WPPIevents.com to redeem your free conference ticket. Congratulations. I still just cannot believe that we're just giving away free passes. Pretty incredible. All right, let's bring on our next guest. Are you guys ready for me? I feel like I kind of went silent on my back end over here, so I hope that I'm still live. We are going to bring on Gary Hughes. Gary Hughes is a photographer, author, and educator from the Orlando, Florida area. And now we just learned that he has a baseball team of children. Can't wait to hear a little bit more about that. For more than a decade, Gary and his wife, Julie, have run Hughes Photography, specializing in commercial portraiture for executives, actors, and models. Aside from running a studio in Orlando, Gary is also in demand as a photography educator, and he travels often, teaching his methods to photographers all over the world. So we are so lucky to have you today, Gary. Hopefully you can turn on your camera and I can see you. There you are. Okay, good. I was like, I'm kind of talking to myself.
I made it.
I'm not seeing any feedback. Hi, Gary. How are you?
Hey. First of all, I don't want anybody to talk to me at these conferences. I don't want any of these peasants coming up to me and just bugging me with their questions. Stay away. Keep a respectful distance, because when I go home, I do not take out the trash. I have people for that. They're called my 4 children. That's right. Well, I see my 5-year-old dragging the trash can out to the street. Yeah. Oh, you have 4 kids as well, I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like, we're in the trenches. Are we not?
Yeah. I'm a taxi driver. Mine are now, my youngest is 8. So we now have some teenagers and, in between 8-year-old. And so now I'm just basically a taxi driver.
My oldest is 8 and I can't wait for her to drive. That'd be great.
Yeah, our teenagers are starting to drive. It's very bizarre. But yes, you are in the trenches if your oldest is 8. So anyways, well, Gary, tell us a little bit about who you are. And I got to try to keep it concise because we're supposed to cut down at 1 o'clock. So just give me a little snapshot of who you are.
Let's just cut Kristina's segment and let's just you and I go. Like
we could probably talk all day. I could talk to all of you just the one all day. So that's why I have to be careful. And
well, have me on the podcast sometime. I'd love to.
We will.
Do that.
Don't
That'd
you worry.
great.
We will.
Yeah.
So tell me about you. Tell me a little bit about your history.
Yeah, I'm a second generation photographer, right? So my parents were photographers. They retired a few years back. They had a studio for 35 years, and they were portrait and wedding photographers. They were portrait and wedding photographers, and they basically fed the family, paid all the bills for us 4 kids, with their art, which is cool because when I was growing up back in the days of yore, not everybody was a photographer yet. This is like the pre-digital age when there were like 2 photographers in our town. And so that was kind of cool. Everybody where I grew up, their dad was an engineer or their mom worked for the city or something like that. And that was pretty much it. So it was neat. But if your parents do a job, you're either going to like follow them into that career or you're going to like run screaming in the opposite direction. And so I did a little bit of the running and the screaming, and I did a whole bunch of other stuff. And even though I grew up in the industry and I enlarged, black and white headshots and I put together proof books till my fingers bled when I was like 12, I didn't want to do it once I left the house, and I didn't. And then one day I was repairing computers working at Circuit City. The rest in peace, Circuit City. And it was Black Friday. And if you ever worked retail on Black Friday, it's a thing. And so they had the Canon Digital Rebel was on sale. It was on sale. And so I bought one and I started taking pictures for fun. And I really liked it. And that sort of led, because I'm an entrepreneur at heart, into starting a business. Eventually met my wife. We started our business together after we'd only been dating a couple of months. Wow. We had paperwork between us long before we were married. 11 years coming up at WPPI. My anniversary is during WPPI. So that's 11 years. Last year for a 10-year, we went out to the desert and did like a family photo shoot. And that was really cool. So that's a cool thing about going to Vegas, by the way, for WPPI. You're a short drive away from some of the most stunning places in America where you can do some cool desert photography. I would highly recommend it. Anyway, now, so we operate a commercial portrait studio. Essentially, that's just a fancy way of saying I take pictures of people for their jobs. And so that includes shooting about 5,000 to 7,000 headshots a year.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the vast majority of those are going to be at corporate events. And so I fly all over the country for my clients and shoot headshots at events with about 60 seconds per person on camera. And so you got to learn how to pose and direct and do everything really, really quickly, so and that's basically my life now. The best part is I work Monday through Friday, and I'm home for dinner every night. No nights and weekends, no weddings, and no portrait sales at 7:00 at night. And so that's great because I get to be with my kids. And so I really, really dig that. I think it's a great genre to work in, and it took me a long time to figure out where I wanted to work in photography. And I did everything. I shot 600 weddings, and numerous family portraits, and eventually, settled on where I'm at now, which I'm really digging. So that's basically the size of it.
And what you just said is something that I want to pull out of what you just said, is that, there's a lot of this industry that you can tailor to your lifestyle.
Oh, yeah.
And you're allowed to change and go different directions. And that's what's awesome about being your own boss and having your own way to create your own income, is that you can do that. So I love that you just talked about that.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point, honestly, that in 2023, with innumerable media outlets, social media platforms, you can really build the business you want with, the creative arts at its center. You don't have to do anything the way that anyone else did it. I didn't. And I had a really great example that I could have followed, and I learned a lot, but I went another direction. There's no reason that you can't. I mean, why do we go into photography in the first place? Because we're the people who value doing something you enjoy for a living, to reclaim time that you can't get back. And so a lot of people, they end up in the trap of, going into the thing that they enjoy, and then they immediately find themselves overwhelmed, and it takes all the joy out of the thing that they used to love, because now they have to put food on the table with it. And that can either be, you're so successful, you get overwhelmed, or you're not successful and now you don't have any money. And so that's really, really stressful. So one of the great things about these conferences is that, you know, like WPPI, is that you get into a place with a bunch of photographers doing things in a zillion different ways. And I love not just the instructors, of which I am one, but honestly, I'll be dead level honest with you. The instructors are my least favorite part. And I love the instructors. I've learned a lot from so many people. It's the sort of tribal knowledge that's exchanged between people over lunches and dinners and just sitting on the sidewalk or having a drink at the bar. And you'll learn things being exposed to that many photographers at the same time that might be transformative to your business in 1,000 different ways. So, and that's a thing that you can't really get on a YouTube video, ironically. Yeah, I think that's a great part of it.
I always say that when I go home from WPPI, I can't even really tell you like the one thing that I learned, but I come home and like redo my website, change my pricing, like big things change for the better. And it's partially what you learned, but it's partially that tribal energy, that inspiration, that just vibration of like, this industry is thriving. He can do it. I can do it. We're going to do this together. Yeah. And it's so true.
If it's your first time, right? Isn't WPPI like a magic show? Like everything everybody says is like, oh, or you feel like you could never be that person. My first photography conference was 2009 and everything. My first class was Jerry Gionis on the platform at Imaging USA in like 2009. And WPPI came into my life quite a bit later. But I mean, I just remember being so overwhelmed by like the feelings of inadequacy and that I'll never be there and that I will never accomplish those things and that I couldn't possibly create work that looked like that. And I still can't create work like that, but I do make a living in photography and I get to speak on those platforms now. And my wife, who wasn't even my wife, that we just walked around kind of in a daze, like we didn't even know how much we didn't know. But if you stick to a good community of photographers, it will give you so many resources and that give yourself some time. Photography is a small business with a slow growth curve. And so, you know, it's going to be like 6 years, 6, 7, 8 is really where that tipping point should happen if you're doing everything right. And so, you know, it's definitely the place to be, but don't freak out. It's going to be fine. It's not all that intimidating. Nobody cured cancer or put a spaceship on the moon. We just take pictures of people. It's not that big a deal.
You know, yes, it can be a really slow burn when you're trying to build this business. But one thing that WPPI helps you with is fast track that, because you get to learn from our mistakes. You know, we get up there and we tell you the things that are working for us. And the reason we know that these things work is because we've messed up 100 times and you get to mess up less than we do. Yeah. So it's definitely a huge part of the growth is that you're getting to learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, the business stuff is, I think, the most important. Like you can really learn to shoot, and it's great to see how photographers shoot, but it's those business insights that I think are going to put people on a faster trajectory.
Absolutely. So what are you teaching this year at WPPI?
I am teaching, I'm just going to grab the third rail of headshot photography and I'm going to stand up in front of a few hundred people and talk about how to market and price headshot photography. And every time this comes up in a Facebook group, somebody goes, what do you charge for this? And then people jump all over them, telling them what to do. And mostly, you know, they're wrong because they don't know that person and they don't know their market. So I'm not going to tell people what to charge, but I am going to tell them how to charge, and breaking headshot photography into 3 essential groups that are completely different. Individual photography in the studio for professionals, teams of professionals that work for one large company, and then headshots at events. And all those are treated very, very differently. And so how to look at your numbers, look at your market, look at your cost of business, and really a really solid and not too boring breakdown of like, this is how to calculate what you should be charging. Don't listen to what everybody tells you to charge. You're going to leave the class knowing how to put together a price list that actually turns a profit.
Amazing. Well, I am so excited to meet you. I don't know if we've actually ever met in real life, but I'm going to come up to you this time and give you a hug, probably, maybe a high five, maybe a hug. So I'm super excited. And I hope that we do have you on the podcast because I want to know more.
Oh yeah.
But we're running out of time. So thank you so much, Gary, for being so open already. And if you are going to WPPI, that class sounds like one you definitely don't want to miss. I mean, headshots are such a value that you're giving to somebody. So amazing. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. I'll see you in Vegas.
Okay. See you in Vegas. All right. We got a couple more prize giveaways. We have more $100 Portrait Master gift card winners. We have David Hakamaki, James Wood Photography, and Brittany West. You've just won $100 Portrait Master gift cards. Congratulations. And finally, we have more free conference pass winners. We have Kim Gimson, LM Porcher, Jen Lee Headlock, MX, and Suzette Parchment. You have just won a free conference ticket. So remember that you will email the appropriate person. We'll put that slide up here in a bit, and redeem your gift card or your free conference pass. Congratulations. We are chatty today, which is awesome. So I want to move right into the next speaker because I want to give her plenty of time to talk, or the next guest who is a speaker. We have Kristina Sherk, and she said, please don't call me Shrek. And I was like, that's why I asked. So we have Kristina Sherk, and she, for the past 15 years, has been a retoucher and Photoshop educator based out of Washington, D.C., which I'm like, thank you that there are people like you in this world, because I don't do my own editing anymore, and I don't even want to like ever open Photoshop anymore. So I can't wait to hear more from you. She loves translating Photoshop for photographers, and subsequently has spoken at Creative Live, Photoshop World, Kelby One, and Adobe Max, Canon, LinkedIn, and more. So many more.
And the Portrait Masters.
And the Portrait Masters. All right. Well, you're a resident then here. Welcome. That is such a valuable niche. Like I said, thank goodness there's people who feel passionate about it. But what I love that you say is that you want to translate it for us, because I read somewhere that Photoshop, like the average Photoshop user uses like 0.5% of what is available. So anyway, tell us a little bit more about yourself. Tell us about how you got into this and how you got started.
It's quite a funny story. I actually went to college I wanted to do photography, but the photography program at the college that I went to was actually still film based. And so I thought, well, why don't I try being a digital art major? That way I can use photography in all my projects, but I'm learning digital photography instead of wet based photography. So, and when I did that, I didn't realize that I was mistakenly majoring in Photoshop, and I ended up having the luxury of learning Photoshop full time for 4 years. And so that was the basis of my knowledge, which is a luxury that a lot of people don't have, right? So then that's when I started, I am dyslexic. I started as a pre-med major, and I was like one semester, and I was like, this is not going to work for me. There's way too much reading, and my reading comprehension is in the gutter. And so I chose photos, much easier, less words. And I just like to translate Photoshop for people, teach them how to use it, show them what all the icons mean, talk a little bit about the broader concepts that we need to follow as photographers, which started in the darkroom, like dodge and burn and stuff like that. But my objective is to teach you the skills to work smarter, not harder when it comes to your editing.
Mic drop. Right there. That's, I think, what a lot of people get into Photoshop, and just, they go down a rabbit hole and they're spending 5 hours on one photo. It's like, this is not efficient. So are you still a working retoucher now to this day?
I am a working photographer and retoucher. Yes, I do. I dabble in headshots a little bit, and I do some underwater work. I see Cheryl's in the audience too. So shout out to Cheryl.
Cool. Very cool. So what is your WPPI story? How did you start? Like, when it was, like, that's the first time that you attended?
So I was doing all of the retouching for Greg Gibson, who is a very famous wedding photographer out of Virginia, which is near where I am. And he took me there. He was judging the print comp at the time. And I sat in the back of the room, and I felt like my jaw was on the floor. I know we're not doing print comp this year, and it's devastating, but I'm crossing every finger that I have that it's coming back. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
coming back. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. It is one of the experiences that changes the way you look at every photo that you take and every photo that you see. And I like lending my expertise to that. Oh, this highlight over here is way blown out. Like, that it's detracting my eye. That needs to be brought down so that I can focus more on the bride. Those kinds of things that you wouldn't necessarily hear from like your mother-in-law, who just thinks it's the most beautiful photograph she's ever seen, right? Those types of critiques are super important. So I just sat there captivated. And that was my first experience. And then because Greg was speaking, I made some connections and started speaking on Photoshop at a couple of other places. And I've been teaching at, I can't remember how long I've been teaching at WPPI, but I want to say I should figure that out because this might be my 10th year.
Whoa, that's awesome. You're a veteran. So what are you teaching this year? What's on the agenda?
Yeah, so I'm teaching two classes. One is going to be a photo mastery on beauty retouching. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with a little beauty shoot, but then we're really going to dive into the Photoshop portion. And so everybody's going to have the same exact images of the model. And we're going to spend our time really digging into how do you retouch that image as well. I feel like a lot of people come back from the show. They have all these incredible images that they've captured at the show, but then the ball kind of drops at the 10-yard line, right? How do we develop those images to the best of our ability to make them look their best online and in print, of course.
You're taking them all the way through.
I am. And my other class is, I wrote notes here. I can't remember the names of them always, but edit anytime, anywhere using Lightroom Mobile. So a lot of photographers might think, oh, Lightroom Mobile is only for the photos I take on my phone. Like I use it once or twice, I dabble with it, but it's not really my cup of tea. Well, that's going to change at this class.
Well, especially with the camera's abilities to, beam the photo to your phone. Like I just hosted a retreat over the weekend and my attendees and my assistants were beaming the photography. I don't even do that. I was like, whoa, I got to do this more often. So it's a full res photo on your phone. You're not just doing an iPhone photo. It's from your camera.
Exactly. I mean, with those the Bluetooth connection apps for all of the cameras, you can not only trigger your camera from your phone, you can then basically share it over to your phone and you can edit it on your phone. So I've done underwater images and I've actually on the boat back to shore, I have beamed it to my phone and I've edited it using the AI masking in Lightroom Mobile. And I've shared it to social before even stepping on land and even getting to a computer. So what I want to teach people in my Lightroom Mobile class is editing on the go. Take advantage of the 20 minutes you have waiting for your doctor's appointment. Take advantage of the time you spend in the carpool line, waiting for your kids in school. If you take those chunks of time and edit the images that you need to get edited today on mobile, when you get back to Wi-Fi, all that stuff is going to go back to your cloud. It's going to update on your cloud. It's going to beam back and update on your computer. And then all you have to do is export and go. Amazing. So that is what I want to teach. Talk about working smarter, not harder. That's the best thing. And then just a few, I know we don't have much time. So my things that I love about WPPI are the conversations. Gary talked about this exactly. The fact that I'm dyslexic, I don't really read very well and gather information very well in that capacity. So the conversations that I have, not only with the instructors at WPPI, but the other photographers that are there are invaluable. Somebody's struggling with pricing. You've got 3 other photographers that you're going out to dinner with that could tell you how they do it. Okay. And so you can take that stuff back exactly like you said and make changes in your photography, And the other thing is, I think photographers in general at their base are extroverts, right? Because we have to pull things out of people, out of our clients. It's very hard to be a sole proprietor, a business of one person, and not have anybody to bounce ideas off of when you're typically an extroverted person. So having this large group of knowledge, common knowledge that we have, is so important. And then also it's like your colleagues. These are like your colleagues. You just happen to see them once a year, and that's a bummer, but you get to come back and you get to see them and you get to ask them about their business. How is it going? And things like that. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, totally. And you can become like pen pals with these people. Now you have their phone number. You can text them. You can bounce ideas off of them. If you don't have a tribe yet, this is how you will find your tribe. So.
Exactly. I love that. This is your tribe.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Kristina, so much. I think that your classes sound so relevant, especially one thing that you said about the editing in mobile too, for those photographers that are listening that are wedding photographers or family photographers that like to post a sneak peek, you could literally get that sneak peek posted from your phone in like no time flat. So pretty amazing. So definitely want to check out those classes that she has. So cool. All right. Well, thank you so much. I can't wait to meet you in real life. I'm going to come give you a big hug, and I will see you in Las Vegas. I am going to answer a few more of your questions before we wrap things up and do the big giveaway at the end. So Kia says, is the party in the hotel or outside of the hotel? All parties are at the hotel. This is why you should stay at the hotel. Even the big party at Capri is at the hotel, and they're all on site, which is, again, another reason why you just want to stay at the Mirage. You don't have to worry about getting in an Uber. You can spend more quality time with everybody. What's up with the WPPI app? The Emerald Experience app is not showing up yet. It should be working. If it's not working, you can email info@WPPI events and they will help you troubleshoot that. Looking Glass Studio says, do you have to register for the classes ahead of time? No. So the classes are just available to everyone. They're in these really big rooms, plenty of room for everybody. If you want to be like up front, you want to get there a little bit early, but you do not need to register for the big classes if you have a conference pass. How can we register for the image review session? I'm only seeing the list on the site, but no sign up. You have to log into your existing registration to sign up and go to the website, click register, scroll down, and where it says update your existing registration, you'll be able to sign up there. All right, let's do some more giveaways before we have to wrap things up. We have $100 Portrait Master gift card winners. We have Stone Tree Creative, Natine, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Nati Jen, Jenny, Elaine, and Barbara Minkler. You all just won a $100 Portrait Master gift card. Congratulations. And then the free conference ticket winners, we have Joyce Doty, Suzanne Claire, Elizabeth Baird, Rebecca Lewick. Yes, Rebecca, I know her. Keith Simpson, Kia C, Ambreen Zavri, La Frontier, and Allison Hopkins. You all just won a free conference pass, which is incredible. So just email info@WPPI events to redeem that. All right. And your Portrait Master gift card, you email support@theportraitmasters.com. Okay. So I want to, everyone here who is live, thank you. You made it. This was a really fun hour. I don't know about you guys, but I was having a great time. I could have talked to everyone forever and realized that I was going on too long. Everyone that's been here live is getting a digital swag bag thanks to the Portrait Masters. So you go to this link, which they are going to put in the comments as well, theportraitmasters.com/WPPI-/line giveaway. I'm losing my ability to speak. You can see it there on the slide, and you use the code WPPI Live to claim it. It will be available only for 24 hours. So if you are watching this on the replay, you are going to miss your opportunity, but don't worry, because if you join us next week at noon on Wednesday, there will be more prizes and you'll be able to snag that digital giveaway that we have every single week. All right. Join us again next week, Wednesday at noon Pacific Standard Time. There'll be more prizes, more exciting announcements, and more guests. And as you can see, the WPPI family, we are close. We are tight. We love to sing the praises because we just are so excited about WPPI. It means a lot to us. Make sure that you join the official WPPI Facebook group, especially if you just won a free pass and you don't have anyone to go with. That's a great place to start networking and start making friends now. And you will be so excited you did that. So come see me and so many other speakers. It's going to be a massive year for WPPI, and we are so excited to have you with us. And don't forget to tune into the WPPI podcast. We dropped the first episode today. Show us some love. You know how podcasts are. You got to get in there and listen and download and review to give us more visibility. And thank you so much for being here. I will see you next week.